I live in New York City and I don't
Yeah.
trust myself to pick a location that makes sense for this process.
Okay.
On that note of mindset and all of those things, I have a very newbie question. I
Okay.
live in the city and I just don't trust myself to pick a location that makes sense for this process.
Say that. What'd you say the first thing is you have what now?
I live in New York City and I don't
Yeah.
trust myself to pick a location that makes sense for this process.
Okay.
Um, there's over 8 million people. I live in Brooklyn. The borough alone has 3 million people, 3.5 million people.
Right.
And the way I initially thought about breaking it down by neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
but the way services kind of go in New York City, it's not neighborhood specific. People will travel 20, 30 minutes across the borough if it means that they'll find a cheaper price for different things. So
Well,
I,
that's what you think, right? That's your worldview, right? That's maybe what you would do. I surely wouldn't do that. So there's a lot of people that are like you. There's a lot of people that are in the middle, and there's a lot of people like me. So never make sure you don't ever make absolutes when it comes to like what people do, right? There's so many different levels of how humans operate. Some are, they'll drive a freaking hour for a 10% discount, and some will say that line's 10 minutes. Hey, here's an extra $100 so I don't have to wait in the line, right? So remember that just the way that you operate or people that operate isn't mean that all humans operate that. So if you can remove some of the absolutes of what you've kind of told yourself of why New York's different than every other place in the world, that will help you immensely because you're kind of breathing in your own exhaust, if that makes sense. So have you picked a niche yet that you want to go into?
haven't because I just couldn't get over the location, if I'm being honest. And
That's cool. Fair enough. All right. Well, have you been through how many due diligences, paperworks have you been through?
about 5 or 6.
Is there anything that you found thus far, even though you're looking in New York, that you like?
I like porta potty.
Porta potty rentals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you like it, then why aren't you going into it?
I just, again, it's just the mental stop. Like,
What
just
are you scared of?
I'm scared of taking. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, knowing what you're going to say afterwards. I'm scared of taking my time to build a Legion site,
Yep.
and leads come in,
Mhm.
and I realize that that is kind of silly because either way the time is going to pass. I might as well
Right.
just try it.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I
Okay.
just, yeah.
All right. Listen, I'm not going to discount that's your feeling because this is your first time through. So much, and like a lot of the stuff we were talking about the other day on that Sunday sermon was it's like failure. There's a lot of people that just fail to launch because they build up all these kind of like false negatives or whatever, false experiences in their brain. And so what they do is they sit and the fear just grips them so much. But here's what I'd like you to do. I've built, and I think there's a lot of people in this group, we've built so many projects over the years that part of it is getting the project to profitability. That's of course why we're all here, right? We're in business. But when you're first starting, it's like when you learned to ride a bike, it's not like you weren't performing for money the first time, or, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still scary. You might fall, but you had to get your practice in before you were ready for prime time, ready to be able to go out there with the rest of the kids and head out on the block. Right. And so what I want to see you do is I want to see you get up on the bike. Yeah, we might have some training wheels. Yeah, we might make a mistake. Yeah, we might skin our knee. But at the end of the day, we're making progress, right? And that progress alone is going to I feel like is going to fire some things off in your brain that make you go, wow, what was I do? Why was I freaking myself out about something that's so small? Because at the very least, right? Like I just said before, it's like you're already at zero. You just got started, right? And so like you're already at zero. So even if you skin your knee, you can't go below zero, right? So we might as well, it's not like these things are expensive to put up, right? What I'd like you to do is when I push off here from your questions or whatnot, is I'd like you to just go over to Weebly, and I'd like you to literally set up the domain, buy the domain you want. I want you to basically just write, I don't care if it's a paragraph, 3 sentences. I want that up by the time this live stream is over. And at the very least, now we've made that first step or that first ride on the bike, even though it's got some training wheels, and then we'll step through the next steps thereafter. But I want that done before I get off this call.
And you want me to publish it?
I want you to publish it. And guess what? No one's going to know you published it other than us.
Okay.
Okay. No one's going to come to your door and be like, where's my porta potties? And if they do, wow, it worked even faster than I thought. But I want something live. I want you to go through the exercise of going, oh my gosh, there's something on the web that I put, and then we'll work through the rest of the processes with you. But we got to start there.